Exactly. Yeah, he was going to say it. Yeah, they dox them. They spread around their information. They were doing everything. And keep in mind, there is only one reason to spread.
By the way, I just want to say this, okay? Like, do you guys notice how how Hasan has like one-sided empathy, but then Asmongold is likely to call Hasan out on his one-sided empathy, but at the same time, like he's not willing to. He also has like one-sided empathy for these kinds of people. Like this guy who is likely a rich white kid, okay, all right, who is very likely very well off. He's going to be perfectly fine. You know, he has all the sympathy afforded for somebody like him, right? But somebody who is like, you know, a brown kid who is deported with cancer, or you know, sorry, I don't even know if that person's brown. Okay, my bad. But like any kind of kid who could have cancer, who could be in these scenarios where it's a brown kid or a brown family or whatever like that. Oh no, don't worry about them. Okay, get them the fuck out of there. Okay, they shouldn't be in the country, right? Like it's literally no human compassion, right? Like either you're pro sympathy or you're fucking like some form of supremacist, or you're just discriminatory, right? Like you're either empathetic in general or you're not empathetic, right? Yeah.
A person's personal information. It's to make them afraid for their life that somebody might take that information and act on it in a way that could directly jeopardize their life. That's the reason why. That's the only reason for doing it. It's to intimidate and theoretically put somebody's life in danger.
I think the young folks of us have gotten email threats from reporters and the public alike. I think, speaking for myself, I dropped.
Post them. Post them. If you've received a threat from a reporter, post it. Show it.
Out of Harvard and came here to serve my country.
I like how indirectly Asmongold is asking for proof that they will likely never ever provide, or they will make up evidence in order to like lie, right? Because I really fucking highly doubt that any journalist from any like accredited news source has done like some kind of threat without losing their job, right? Like I would genuinely be shocked if any kind of like accredited news source journalist have threatened this guy and they found out and he didn't lose his job, right? Like how could he's like, of course, right? Like I agree with Asmongold in a roundabout way to provide evidence, right? But like that's the problem here, is that there's no fucking evidence for anything with like DOGE or any of these people. It's actually so cringe. Yeah. I don't think American democracy is in danger, to be honest, but we can disagree with the government and see they are a bunch of idiots. No, I highly disagree with that. American democracy is in severe danger right now.
And
okay?
It's been unfortunate to see, you know.
And by the way, not only would I post it, I'd audit the reporter. I would. Why are you so unhappy about this money being discovered? Well, let's find out.
Right, you should ask for evidence.
Most
right? You should ask for evidence.
But I think fundamentally, I hope people realize through conversations like this that reform is genuinely needed. And
the DOGE member dropped out of Harvard.
If there's one, I think this is important to say, if there's one group of people who really have a shot of success, it's the people here. You know, they're up until 2 a.m. Monday through Sunday. DOGE does not recognize weekends. We're working all the time.
What inspired you to drop out of Harvard to do this?
Because you've grown up your entire life just like every other kid, and you've seen your entire country be sold out for foreign interests, foreign wars, and foreign companies. And you're finally fucking tired of it. And you're a goddamn American, and it's time to start acting like it. That's why.
Okay, buddy.
You know, there's a lot of reform.
When Trump absolutely refuses to criticize Putin for the same war in which Asmongold literally says, "Oh, I think Putin is a bad guy. I think he's a horrendous person." Okay, dude, I can totally see how the current state is way less corrupt to foreign influences than it is now, right? Like you realize that nothing he just said here makes any type of lick of sense, like basically whatsoever, right?
I think the value of this and the impact here is so much more vast than anything you could learn in a classroom doing computer science.
It's a good point too.
And you guys are sleeping here, I'm hearing.
Yeah, sure.
You guys are up all night. You have this meeting at 10 o'clock every Wednesday?
We'll probably go back to work right after this.
Yeah.
You're going back to work after this?
Yes.
Right.
It's almost 11 o'clock.
So that's early.
It's early? Can I go to bed?
Yeah, I mean, bro, like, were you never in, like, college? Yeah, 11 o'clock is early. Yeah, these guys probably go to bed at, like, 4 or 5 in the morning. They sleep till noon. They get up. They probably DoorDash McDonald's to the White House, and then they keep going. That's what you do. Yeah.
It's an incredible work ethic.
Oh,
You guys should be really, really proud of yourself. Do good people come up to you?
Elon got a bunch of Zoomers to audit the US government because his autistic senses told him that it would look cool. Well, you know, if I would actually support that if only they were actually auditing the US government and weren't just like fucking around, you know, jerking off Elon Musk, all right? Acting as his groomed teenager buddies, okay? I'm just saying.
You and say thank you for doing what you're doing?
Absolutely. There are people in the State Department that will stop you, or all of the agencies that we've been to, that'll stop you in the hallways or write emails and say, I was scared to write this, or I don't know if you're interested in this. But they usually have great ideas. And if they often have the best ideas because they've worked in the places and they've been stifled by the bureaucracy for so many years. So one of the great things that, at least in my experience, that we listen to them and empower them.
So yes, in fact, I'd like to emphasize that because we'd like to just give a big thank you to all the government employees who are helping reduce the waste and fraud, because this is, you know, we really couldn't do it without you. So
it's a group effort.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not trying to sort of say all government employees are bad. That's absolutely not the case. It's just that, you know, there actually just does need to be a serious effort to reduce the waste and fraud. And we're just making that happen. And a lot of people in the government are very glad to see it happen.
So brave.
Really important.
You've got to imagine, like, the complete Karen annihilation of finding out that a bunch of basically crazy chud teenagers.
Actually, Trump has started criticism of Putin because of the last attacks and because he ended up looking like an idiot after saying he was going to end the war. By criticism, do you mean like the whining and the bottom bitch behavior that he was exhibiting on Truth Social by saying, "Stop, Putin! Stop, please, Putin! You're breaking all grandma's things." You mean that's criticism? That's criticism to you? Okay.
Are now working at the government, and they're shutting everything down. Like, bro, this is like a total federal government worker, Karen. This is like a total rapture for them. Yeah, this is their worst nightmare. Yeah, the frat bros. Just coming to shut them fucking down.
To recognize every single person around this table that's embedded within an agency is supporting that agency, whether they're working on systems or working through people. We are encountering droves of government employees who are missionaries, not mercenaries, who are...
Yeah, that's definitely true. DOGE literally cut my summer school program I was going to teach at. I agree that there is waste, but what the fuck is designing education to low socio and economic students do and giving them equal opportunities? The reason why a lot of things get shut down isn't necessarily because of what they are. It's how they're appropriated and what that appropriation is. And so, like, if you have a system and the system has a good function, but it's being utilized in a bad way, you still have a bad system that needs to be shut down. And so that's the difference. There is going to be collateral damage and goods, and there are things that are good intentioned but done badly. And of course they're going to shut them down, because doing them badly is also a misuse of taxpayer money. You can't just say that.
Yeah, in other words, yeah, no shit, right? Of course. Like, I don't even know why this is even being discussed. That, of course, there's going to be bad ways of having good systems and having bad ways of doing good systems. But this is such a bland, surface level way of looking at any of this, right? Why don't you go into the details? Why don't you go into what is actually happening? Why don't you go into specific cases instead of watching Fox and Friends and watching like you know, propaganda puff pieces every single time, right? Like the thing is here is that like I just don't like how Asmongold is just like saying these very blank surface level things when reality is much more complicated and much more, you know, crazy than that, right? Like, oh wow, almost turns out that, you know, having fucking Elon Musk thinking that he's great at everything because he's just simply a computer scientist, like it doesn't mean that he's good at, you know, determining whether or not something is actually like good for the government or not, right? Like, yeah. I mean, all Trump does is look like an idiot on camera and posting on the internet, so that's his way of going after Putin. Yeah, it's very effective considering how many Ukrainians die every day. The only branch of government that is pushing back somewhat is the judicial branch. Yeah, sure. I agree with that. But it's not even pushing back, right? Because pushing back implies that you're actually gaining ground in the other way, right? What's going on with the judicial branch is more like you're trying to hold the line as much as possible, but you're like losing ground, okay? You're like constantly losing ground, all right? That's, yeah. That's what's actually happening.
Well, we had a good system. There is like some good that this does, so it justifies a, you know, basically blank check of money. No.
They're actually here serving because they believe in what they're doing. They want to do things well. We are trying to empower them, and they feel empowered now to ask the question of why? Why aren't we doing this? What else can we be doing? How can we fix this? And I think agency by agency, it is filled with exceptional government employees, right? And when we give them the tools, when we give them the systems, and we leave behind systems to help them do their jobs better, that's the permanent change, right? And they're embracing that, not because it's new to them, it's because it's something they've always wanted to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But for the first time ever, we're giving them the tools and the collaboration to be able to do that.
Baldy's cooking.
It's a very important message. Yeah. That message needs to get out a lot more. I'm so glad you said that.
Yep.
We have exceptional people at all of our agencies.
Very true.
Exceptional. I mean, they do a thankless job and work incredibly hard.
True.
I love to hear how collaborative it is with these people in these agencies, and it's not all conflict. Sometimes in the media, you always hear about conflict, and you guys are considered these ruthless suits that come in and scare people. But it's
conflict is the exception. There is conflict, but that is the exception.
Conflict is normal. Like, this isn't, again, this is more Karen alarmism. Of course there's conflict.
And which part of that is Karen?
No shit.
Hello?
That's actually true of history in general. You know, people study the wars a lot, but actually most of the time there wasn't war.
It's just not as exciting.
It's just not as exciting.
Right.
Exactly.
That's like, dude, he's fucking brain dead. Dude, why are we celebrating brain damage as a society? Like, you guys realize, like, what Asmongold is doing here is celebrating being brain damaged as like as like something that's good, right? Like, gosh damn, dude, Jesus Christ, what is going on? He's a soft dictator, and if he gets his third presidency because white people seem to live long lives, then he'll be a full dictator. Yeah, sure, yeah.
Well, for the TV guys, we like conflict, but in this case, we love the collaboration.
Somebody,
so thank you guys. Thanks for
somebody needs to take over the team.
This access in here.
All right. In other news, 100 days of President Donald Trump's second term means 100 days of Elon Musk and his effort to eliminate wasteful government spending.
So Rich Edson is live outside the White House with more on DOGE and just how much it has saved the American taxpayer and what its future looks like, Rich.
Yeah, that's right, Brian Ainsley and Lawrence. The Department of Government Efficiency and Elon Musk say they've already saved billions of dollars for U.S. taxpayers, $160 billion, according to the department, which breaks down to about $1,000 a taxpayer. Ways to go, though, to the $2 trillion Musk initially targeted. DOGE has slashed federal programs, employees, and entire departments.
Is DOGE just getting started? This is a long-term enterprise.
Please.
It's a long-term enterprise because if we take our eye off the ball, the waste and fraud will come roaring back.
That's the thing. I learned this about roaches. You got to cut them in half, and even then sometimes half of them ends up back on there. You throw them in half and you throw them in a garbage can, one of those halves is coming out of the garbage can. You got to throw the whole bag away.
They can doge when Democrats get back in power.
We're trying to have it be such that the funding is removed, so the grants are gone. So there's a lot of work required to restart the waste and fraud.
Musk's special government employees.
Because, like, you know, Elon is also a systems exploiter, right? Like, that's one thing about Elon, Donald Trump, and, like, you know, even George Soros. These people are expert systems exploiters. And so they know how to stop other people from doing it. Opportunist? Yeah. Bernie Madoff? Yep. System exploiter.
I wish that was
Status
true.
is scheduled to end May 30th. He also says he's going to be spending more time at Tesla. Democrats want him out now. They accuse DOGE of overinflating savings, cutting vital government services, research, and foreign aid. Yesterday, Vice President J.D. Vance toured a steel factory in South Carolina, where he said the Trump administration's first 100 days marks the golden age of American manufacturing.
Isn't it so weird to actually just see him? It almost feels like that's not him.
And also oil production.
Now, to me, that marker means a lot of things for the state of South Carolina. It means a lot of things for this plant. It means a lot of things for America. Number one, 100 days means energy dominance. We have started drill, baby drilling. It means cheaper gas, and it means America that is self-reliant.
As for President Trump, after that address last night at the University of Alabama, he is spending the weekend at Mar-a-Lago. Back to you.
Yep, so they're not going anywhere. It's just their leader's going to go back to one of his full-time jobs. Going to probably be.
Dude, is he really not going to comment on how, like, he literally, like, Trump is just golfing every single time, a balance that isn't filtering anything. I like how by bashing middle managers so much, DOGE has effectively became the middle manager. That does absolutely fucking nothing.
There 1 or 2 days. Thanks, Rich. He's going to be there 1 or 2 days a week. They did bring up that one of the things that DOGE has done is their actions have led to the layoff of 283,172 job cuts. That is half.
That's a good start. It's a really good start. You guys are doing great, but you got to up those numbers.
Of all the job cuts in the country, but it was always been the intent to thin out and lean out the federal workforce, which is 2.3 million people. Many of them took buyouts.
Yeah, to get paid through September.
Doctor says, I'm not talking about DOGE. I'm saying that if we start calling Trump a dictator, we're going to start being as stupid as Hasan. No. Trump is literally trying to subvert the fucking rules. Trying to subvert laws, breaking the laws all the time. And he is pretty much like destroying everything that we hold dear, okay? I ain't hearing this, okay? I expect better takes from you, okay?
If you took that deal, you had to sign up, what was it, the beginning of February, and then you were paid through September. Many of those people left and got other jobs, so they're getting 2 paychecks now.
Well, I'm concerned really about if a new house comes in during the midterm.
They need to start arresting people, otherwise it's just performative. Oh no, I'm very much a Old Testament kind of guy. Oh yeah. Like, I am the arrest them, lock them up, charge them with treason if possible, especially for, like, some of those judges that are, like, keeping gang members in their house and helping them. Like, I want them charged with treason. Like, I would go...
And which judges are keeping gang members in their house? And which judges are keeping gang members in their house, dude? Like, hello? Where is that happening? This is the first time I've heard of it, okay?
All the way.
Can I have a name, please?
Terms or a new Senate.
Back to basics.
That's a crazy thing to
4
say,
years.
isn't
You gotta
it?
set an example.
Well, I'm gonna need some proof.
Yeah, like people say, oh, that's horrible, that's horrible. I say, bro, we just getting started. You think this is bad? They're still trying to play nice.
Dude, how could you like feel bad for big balls when like you are literally this cruel? Like cruelty is like the fucking point, right? Isn't it? Like I like how you can be like this cruel towards these people, but then at the same time you're like, oh my god, they're sending death threats to big balls. Oh no, oh my gosh. Dude, give me a break, dude.
I feel like they're just going to put all this stuff put in place. So I'm just curious, when they do this big, beautiful bill, if they can put some guardrails in place where they can't just reallocate all this stupid spending on all this nonsense, wasteful gender studies nonsense.
That's why elections have consequences. That's why if you...
They need to not think about that. They need to think about ways to delegitimize and expose the amount of corruption in the people that are against them to a degree that it totally destroys and hamstrings their movement so they don't get reelected, period. Like, stop thinking about cooking the books and start making sure that you're writing the pages of the future. That's the way I see it. They won't do it. That's what they need to do. If they want to keep winning, they have to show crucifixions. Not literally. Probably not. But they have to show it. It's a dumb take. No, it's not. It's not. Because they have, like, the people in the future government, you know how Trump just ignores the Supreme Court and does whatever the fuck he wants? That's what they'll do too. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what rules you put down. They'll just ignore the rules. That's the truth.
You vote conservatives, this is what you get. If you don't like it, then you vote the other way. But Elon did say he put into place safeguards so that doesn't happen. When you take away...
I'm going to start timing people out that call women that are blonde snow bunnies. Just because a girl is a snow bunny and she's blonde, that doesn't... Sorry, just because she's white and blonde, that doesn't make her a snow bunny. I'm so fucking sick of this. Fucking stop it. That's not what it means. That's never what it's meant. It's fucking annoying. Anyway.
But don't you do that to the word Karen? What the fuck? Hello? What? Huh? Don't you do that to the word Karen? I like how snow bunnies is an unacceptable term now, but the word Karen is a-okay, okay? Generalizing by comparing them to a porn name is not okay, but generalizing and comparing them to a non-porn name but still generalizing them is perfectly all right. This totally makes sense. This totally does not not make sense, right? Like, gosh, dude, what a fucking cringe lord, dude. Holy shit. So cringe, dude. So cringe.
A contract. In order to get another contract, you have to fill out all the paperwork. It takes time. So it would take a long time to get back to where we were originally. But you mentioned in the first hour the Iron Mountain limestone mine. It's this mine that's about an hour outside of Pittsburgh, and it's where retirement forms, folders, all the documents from people who work in federal government services when they retire. It takes about 6 months for that retirement to go through because all this paperwork is done by hand. It's stored in manila envelopes, cardboard boxes.
It's done by hand? Really? That sounds like a bad process.
And there are 10,000 applications per month, so it takes a long time.
Why the fuck do you think it's done by hand, Asmongold? It's because the fucking Republicans want everything to be done by hand. like I feel like Democrats for the longest time has been advocating for things to be done via voting machines, done electronically, done via technology and shit. But meanwhile, like it's the Republicans that's always like trying to get things done via hand. Like no shit, Sherlock. Like what the fuck are we talking about here?
Time to go through everybody's files. But there are a lot of people that work at the mine. There's 700 plus people that operate 230 feet underground. So if they do close down this mine and make it all on computers, then to make it quicker, your retirement quicker, those people do stand to lose their jobs. So maybe we could train them to do the computer system.
So it's already happening electronically, and this can't be reversed. No one would want to. Here's what DOGE has done with the mines, and this is their game plan to modernize retiring and getting Social Security.
Yeah, so basically, if anybody doesn't know, the reason why only a certain amount of people can retire from the federal government per year is basically because, well, the government can only process so many retirements per year. It's because all of this paperwork is stored in an underground mine, and it's in all of these different file folders. That's right. Yep. It's right there. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of? No, it's not. That's the dumbest thing you've ever heard of so far. I can guarantee you this is not the worst.
No, not all Social Security benefits are stored underground. While the Social Security Administration does store significant records in the underground facility, it primarily stores the records of federal employees' retirement paperwork. Yeah, so no, it's just straight up not fucking true. So fucking moronic, dude.
If somebody wants to retire, they
Did Grok tell you Google?
can't because it takes 6 months to compile
By the way, just FYI, Grok is Google, okay?
the paper
Just saying.
and carry the paper into a mine where it is stored.
It's like a joke. Really, it's like a joke.
And also, all the calculations are done by
Fucking
hand.
ridiculous.
Everything has
In
to be
2025.
reconciled, adjudicated. This is thicker than the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah.
And if
That's what the American voted for, so at this point it is not a dictator, Lynn. Dr. Says, do you know how Hitler came into power? You know, nothing related to anything that you just said, okay? But do you know how Hitler came into power?
if I had to process
We are in good hands. Oh boy. Yep, that's all I need to hear. Yep, we're good. Everything is totally fine. We're going to be safe. I feel safe again? Yep.
trilogy.
Yeah.
And if I had to process this, I would rather do my taxes in the dark than have to go through this.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing is we're bringing this process online with modern software. And I'm excited to share that as of tonight, we have 25 retirees going through an entirely online retirement process.
Wow.
In the government for the
Wow.
very first time.
What?
It sounds so simple.
Yes, and it's great collaboration with retirement services inside OPM. So this has always been their dream, and we're just here to help accelerate it.
90s, right? It sounds like something we'd be talking about in the 90s. Like, oh, this is our first, we have computers, and we have the first 25 people retiring.
All the people that are complaining about DOGE in Congress, they didn't try to fix this. Obama didn't try to fix this. Joe Biden didn't try to fix this. All of them could have fixed this only because of Elon Musk and DOGE and Donald Trump. This is getting...
So at this point, it's not a dictator. Okay, so when does it start happening then? So when did Hitler start becoming a dictator? Right, it's awfully convenient because at this point it's doing a lot of heavy lifting, right? Like when you were trying to define the words around
But it's
it.
indisputable the gains that they've made. It's indisputable that now if you're going to want to get money from the government, you have to write what you're actually getting it for.
Yep,
and be
everything's
accountable
computer.
after you get paid.
Get ready
this
for
is
it.
certain things with systems, nothing to do with jobs, that are just gains.
And that young man that went to the mines, he showed you that thick stack of...
Hitler didn't become a dictator until he centralized the power on himself, dissolved the parliamentary institutions, and stopped elections. What do you think Trump is doing right now? Just a question, okay? What do you think Trump is trying to do right now?
One person's retirement. That's one person.
Right.
Jesus.
I'm Steve Doocy.
How the
I'm Brian
fuck do
Kilmeade.
you do
And I'm
that?
Ainsley.
Oh my God. Is that the full interview? No, it's not. There's more of it. We're going to watch more of it tomorrow. So, but this is the first part of it that I wanted to watch today because it's the shorter version and I thought it would be really funny. So, Big Balls has been revealed. So, we have not only, so let's just get this straight. We have a, what do you call it? We have, let me make sure I get all this straight. We have a guy come in here who's named Big Balls and make a joke about it. It's all guys in here. They're talking about like all this government bullshit. A Lord of the Rings joke is made. Everybody's laughing. Guys, I'm thinking we're back. I'm thinking that we are back in a big way. And it feels good. You're goddamn fucking right. Oh, man.
No, dude, these people are literally cutting veteran affairs. I mean, maybe because you're not a veteran and maybe that's why you don't care, but they're cutting veteran affairs. I mean, first of all, why the fuck would you even have an affair as a veteran, right? Like, regular office affairs is already pretty bad, okay? But also, another thing is, like, I don't think you would find this funny if he was one of these people whose benefits are being cut, right? Like, again, the cruelty is the point.